And good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and that you know what that means? It is FRR Cup Series racing tonight. We are at Indianapolis Roval. Give me 1 second. I just got a update. I just got a message from my co-host, my big dog B Nizzy. Here we go. My buddy being he forgot that there was that update. Anyway, welcome to Indianapolis Roval. That's right. It is FRR Cup Series racing. Thanks for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shady Acres. B Nizzy will be joining with me here very soon, and these guys should be getting ready to qualify here. Pretty much any minute. They should be in the qualifying lobby. Trying to find the stream now, but there isn't a stream going yet. I think maybe they're holding off on the streams because because of the lag issue. We had a ton of lag last week, and earlier today there was some lag going on. In the FTR Pro Series race earlier this evening at 6 o'clock, so I think that's why I haven't had a stream yet. But just talked to True Death, and they are getting the qualifying lobby set up. And man, excited for this one as back on the road course. We haven't been on the road course in quite a while, but we're back on the road course tonight. And after the past couple weeks, Typical has been has just been on a roll. Typical has been absolutely on fire. He has just been winning race after race after race, and I expect him to be once again. I expect him to be up there tonight. But there are some road course ringers. Shovelhead for one. I think Shovelhead. He's always tough at these road courses. But let's check up on the points real quick. Let's see what how these points shaking up now after Typical's win last week. Of course, Typical has a gigantic lead in the regular season points as things are starting to wind down. We're kind of in the home stretch of the regular season. Things are starting to kind of wind down. And like I said, I'm not sure if he is I'm pretty sure he's mathematically locked the regular season championship up. I mean, he could probably start and park the rest of the regular season and still walk away with the regular season trophy or championship trophy, but he is obviously way out in first with 930 points, with Favre in second now. Favre and Flash were tied for second last week, but Favre was able to grab 6 points on them as they had just a total abysmal race or ending to the race last week, as they both got black flag penalties on the last green flag pit stops, virtually taking them completely out of it. And Typical went on to win. And Typical even actually got, he had a little bit of a hurdle himself last week. He had to cross over last week when on the last lap of stage 2. That he got he got a little trouble off of turn 2, and KB Showtime accidentally brushed up against the wall and came down on the nose, and Typical ended up spinning, which he had to start in the rear of the field in stage 3, but That guy, man, I tell you what, he is just on a roll, and when he gets zoned in, he is almost impossible to beat. There's not many guys that can beat him. Um, he's just been winning races all over. Here at FRR Cup Series, he's been winning races in the FTR Elite Series. I know he's been winning races at Ruthless Racing the Pro Series over there on Thursday nights. The guy is just on fire. He is just absolutely on fire. And like I said, I got to check the schedule and see. But Typical's pretty much got that point championship locked up for the most part. But here we go. Let's see. That's got True Death Stream up now as they are looking to get qualifying underway. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but they're about ready to start qualifying, get qualifying out of the way here. I'm not sure they're doing single car. No, they're not doing single car. Okay, so yeah, they are qualifying right now. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed, and we're going to hope that we don't have any lag showers hanging around like we did last week, because that was really a bummer. That made it for a long evening, a long night. Like I said, my dog B Nizzy, he'll be here any minute now. He's doing the latest update on the game. But like I said, back to the points. Typical, well in first in points with 930. Favre in second in those regular season points with 769. Flash 9 with 763 points. With Field Filler in fourth at 752 points. Perky rounds out the top 5 in points with 691 points. And those two guys have just they have had such a quiet season. Field Filler and Perky both. Now Perky is always very tough for him because with his work schedule and life and everything else, he's unable usually he's unable to make the practices, and usually he's unable to make the practices. You know what? I just got an invite. Let's poke our head on qualifying. Let's see if we can poke our head on qualifying tonight. And while they've got that going underway, yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of poke our head on in and check out qualifying ourselves and see how these guys are doing. Forgive me for that music. I forgot we are. I gotta switch on over. There he is. There he is. B Nizzy. He's up in here. What's going on, brother? How you been, my man? B Nizzy, can you hear me? You might need to check your mic. I don't know. I saw you just come into the party, but I can't hear you. But we are loading into the qualifying now. So let's. I'm poking my head on into qualifying just for silliness and giggles, and see how these guys do with qualifying. Knocking on wood here that we're not getting. I don't see any lag showers going on. But we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed on that one. Are you there still? Nizzy, can you hear me? Are you there? I don't know if you're there. I thought you just joined the lobby, but I can't hear you. As we are taking a tour around the Indy Roval as these guys are now qualifying. Here's the guy I want to check out as he's qualifying. This typical. This guy is so good, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts on the pole again. I don't know how many poles he's won, but he is like I said, he is just on a roll. He is just on fire. So I think they've got one or two more laps left of qualifying. But kind of hanging out with Typical. Let's see Typical get around this place. And maybe being as his mic isn't working, try unplugging it and plugging it back in. Try unplugging your mic and plug it back in if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. You've been doing that. Oh man, that is not good. That's not good. Not started off on the right foot. I don't know. Maybe actually start the PlayStation. Restart the PlayStation. Did you redo the PlayStation? Restart the PlayStation, and maybe try doing that. As Typical crosses the line, I think they've got one more. This is the last qualifying lap. So yeah, restart the whole PlayStation and see if that don't work, as we're just kind of poking our head in on qualifying here, watching Typical smoke around. I mean, he got almost smoke coming out of these tires. He gets around this place so fast as he goes on. And I thought we had one more lap left, but I guess maybe we have one more lap left. As kind of just watch him and see how he gets around this place, folks, because this guy, man, he's a road ringer. He's everywhere. I mean, he wins everywhere, and I'm just kind of curious to see how he gets around this place. But we're gonna see if one of these other road ringers can give him a challenge tonight. Now, I know Favre is also very, very good. I mean, he's the defending champion of the Cup Series. He's won the regular season championship 5 times in a row, and he's a 3-time season champion. So Favre himself knows how to get around these road courses. I know that, as well as some other road ringers like Shovelhead. Shovelhead, I know, is very, very good on these road courses as well. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking maybe one of those two guys can give him a challenge, as that's going to do it for qualifying. So that's the end of qualifying right there, as Typical just finished the line of qualifying along with the rest of these guys. So qualifying is now over, and we're going to see how this, we're going to sit back and relax, and we're going to see, I got a feeling we're going to see a very, very exciting race. See, Shovelhead is in, or is there Shovelhead in the pits now? I'm not sure if he qualified or not. True Death, Hickross, Dime, Mac, as I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Mac with the week that he had last week, having an excellent car, but ended up getting lagged out. As he said, he had the best car he's had all season long, and he got lagged out last week, which just absolutely was just unbelievable. And now I get a multiplayer error again. I don't know why that happens. That continues to happen for a reason. If anybody has a solution to that multiplayer error, as I get when I go from the race screen or basically the qualifying screen, when I go from the qualifying screen back to the lobby screen, that happens. It happens kind of regularly. I don't know why. If anybody has an answer to it, please get in touch with me so I can try to figure that out. That is really being a pain in my butt, and usually causes me to start in the back, and it just ticking me off more than anything else. Especially, I had to miss last week's race because with FTR because with the rule that we had in place last week, you had to qualify your way in, and which I had my time was the pole. I actually had the pole sitting time, and I got booted from that multiplayer error, so I was not able to get into the race last week. And I'm not going to lie to you, it took me 2 days to digest that one. But if anybody has an answer to it, please give me an answer, because that multiplayer error that boots me every single time. Well, not every single time, but it's seeming like it on a regular basis. That's been happening. So if anybody's got a solution where you're going from the qualifying lobby and exiting out of that to go back into the lobby screen, and that warning, that multiplayer warning that boots you, if anybody has a solution to that, please let me know, because I'm having a big problem and a big issue with that. Well, anyway, so I was hoping to see who was on the poll, but now let me see. Okay, so I'm looking here, and on the stream, and surprise, who was on the poll? And that is that guy, Typical. Man, he just keeps on rolling. Typical is on the poll tonight. Looking in the lobby screen, I can't see who's in second on that one. Let me try going over to True Death. True Death screen is usually, for some reason, True Death screen is feed is okay. There we go. I got it. So True Death gets second on the outside poll. True Death gonna start second tonight. Hickross also in third. What a qualifying start for Hickross, as he is gonna start third tonight. And I tell you what, Hickross has just been getting better and better all season long. Had a heck of a run last week. Also now, and going to start fourth is Dimebags. Dimebags also has really put together some good races. Both Hickross and Dimebags both have really put on some good races, as they are now loading up. So let's get joined on in, and I'm going to send a couple of invites to B Nizzy. Hopefully he gets his mic working, and he can he can join me tonight calling the race. Send one more. I always send 3. There we go. Alright, so there we go. We're going to go racing at FRR Cup Series racing at the Indy Roval. Here we go. This should be a heck of a race. Back on the road, off the ovals, back on the road. We're making right-hand turns. We're going to see if some of these road ringers can unseat Typical in his dominating performances that he has been putting on all season long. Maybe Favre can do it. Maybe Shovelhead can do it. We're going to find out here in just a moment. And who knows, maybe even True Death. True Death starting on the outside pole in second as the game starts loading here now. So we are underway, and we are green at Indy Roval. As these guys start to get settled in, these guys as they get bunched up from the start. Well, let's get in order as we started. On the pole tonight, Typical in the number 10, as he is shot out like a cannon, and he is just already trying to take off in first with the lead, but right there in second is True Death. True Death in that 3 car with its best qualifying performance of the season so far, starting second, trying not to let Typical get away. Hickross in that 18 also, like I said, started third, had his best qualifying of the season, and having putting together some really good races. Dimebag's in the 1 also as well. He has been putting together some very good races as well in the 1 car. Danny MD in the 45. He has had some family things going on and hasn't been able to make the race last week, but here he is in the 45. Mac in the 17. There's Mac in the 17, as he had last week. He said he had the best card all season, and he ended up lagging out into the garage. But there you see Mac already 3, 4, 5 in the 5th position, putting heat on Danny MD. Pittman in the 11 car. Everybody knows Pittman, everybody knows FedEx, and everybody knows Pittman is in that FedEx Toyota. Next up, Racer Rick in the 34. Racer Rick driving that Love's number 34 today. That car won the race earlier this afternoon, the real NASCAR race at Indianapolis. Maybe he can take this 34, as well as there might be a penalty there in the 41, or a off the track penalty. We'll get to that in a minute. Ooh, the contact made between Showtime Hull, also known as Hurricane Hull. There's change of name there. Hurricane Hull and Danny MD made a little bit of contact, but there is now Showtime Hull in that number 9 car. King G in the 41 as well. There's King G in the 41. Also good at some of these road courses. Let's see if he can get some good momentum established here at the Indy Roval in that 41 car. THC in the 7. There's THC in that number 7 car. Has definitely not had the season that he wants to have or expected to have, but there's still a long way to go to put together some really good races for THC. Perky in the 14. There's Perky as well, and as you can see, Perky had to start kind of bit towards the back, as he's already moving through the field in this number 14 car. And there's Perky in that 14. Shovelhead in the 22. Here's Shovelhead. Here's one of the guys I really think that can unseat Typical here at a road course, as Shovelhead in the 22 is in a lot of traffic as he's pulling up on the backside of Pittman in the 11 car. Now with Perky looking on the inside as they come down the back straightaway. Here comes Perky on the inside of Shovelhead going into turn 1, and look at Mac on 2 wheels, hit the chicane, going up on 2 wheels, but kept it going, and Shovelhead able to keep his position as well. Field Filler in the 5 car. Field Filler having a great season so far this year. 4th in points, has a win under his belt, but has been running very consistently all season long. Has had a great season in this number 5 car. And of course, the champion, the reigning champion, FRR champion, and that is Showtime Favre himself in that number 4 car. Obviously, if there's anyone else that can unseat Typical, it's the defending champion, Showtime Favre in the 4 car. And that is our lineup for tonight here at the Indy Roval. As you guys kind of noticed, there's a couple cars missing. Showtime Flash is not able to make the race tonight with some family. He's got family and work. I think he had to go out of town for work this weekend. So Flash not here, not able to make the race. And as well as Mucka, you don't see that 2 car out there tonight, as Mucka is enjoying himself at Disney World on his family vacation, hoping he has a great time, has a lot of fun riding those rides, getting on Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, all that kind of stuff. But Mucka is also on vacation, so he is not in the race tonight. But look at this lead that Typical has opened up on True Death. There's the interval between Typical and True Death. And True Death going through the S's now as this is what True Death did not want. True Death did not want to let that 10 car get away from him, but only so much you can do when you're going against this guy. And here comes Typical down pit road. I'm not sure if this is scheduled, but here comes Typical already down pit road. I'm not sure if this is an unscheduled pit stop, but must not be, because here comes True Death as well. Favre in third, he's coming down pit road as well. Hickross, Shovelhead, Perky, Mac, all coming down pit road as the whole field is coming down pit road as they have the fuel on this. They definitely don't get many laps with the fuel the way it is. As let me get on a stream here. As getting on a stream, as some of these guys are only taking gas and go, and some taking 2 tires, but so they come on out. Typical still in first. Typical way out ahead. Now we'll see if how, and this is also a very interesting strategy these guys pitting, as I think most of these guys may have only taken right side tires and fuel only. Also I think that sorry, just got a message real quick. Just had to check the message real quick. But like I said, some of these guys took a can of fuel and let it rip, and some took 2 tires. What's going on, Elvin? How you doing, brother? We had just started the race here, so we're in the early going. We're only in stage 1. Typical, as you see, is on an island all by himself. Oh, I'm hearing some ruffling. I'm hearing the window just opened. The back window I'm hearing some ruffling. Did he get his mic working?
Nope.
There he is. Now I got him. There he is. D-Nizzy in the house. What's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty annoyed with this stupid ass mic, but I'm sorry for the swear.
Well, it's all good.
Well, I'm here now. Let's we got Typical leading.
Typical is in an island all by himself, leading. Yeah. I sent you the 3 invites to make sure that you had plenty
I've been in it. I've just been trying to get this mic working.
Oh, yeah. Typical is in first. They just had a green flag pit stop, but yes, he is all by himself in first. True Death is in second. True Death started on the outside pole. The best start that he's had all season, starting second and still currently in second. Looks like he may have had a little run-in with the wall, gave it a little kiss for good luck. He's got a little damage on his left rear quarter panel, but not slowing him down at all. Favre is currently in third, with Hickross in fourth, Perky in fifth, and Perky in fifth, and Field Filler in sixth. So that's our top running order right now as it is, as these guys are really spread out now. But anyway, how you doing tonight, man? How's everything going?
I'm doing alright. Just another day.
I'm glad you're able to, that work didn't screw you over again this week and keep you hung up.
No, not this week, thankfully.
So you could make it in the race. Kind of looking in here with, checking in here with this little pack of cars here, as Shovelhead and Pittman side by side, as they are right behind, looks like Field Filler And this is for, looks like about 7th, 8th, 9th, around that area. But having some good racing back here towards the back. Shovelhead and Pittman still were side by side through the S's. Shovelhead finally makes the pass with the 17 of Mack now trying to reel in the 11 car of Pittman, and Shovelhead starting to take off. But yeah, man, these guys are pretty spread out. We had our first green flag pit stop, and these guys, I'm going to get a lap count this time by as they cross.
I think we got like one to go.
I think so too. Yep, this is a final lap already. Last lap in stage 1, and there's I would say there's the interval between Typical and True Death, but he's so far ahead you can't even see where True Death is to know.
I believe Favre got around True Death, so I think Favre's second now.
Is he?
I think. What happened was I was watching his stream, thinking that it was the broadcast, and I was wondering like how long is Shady gonna stay on board with Favre, and then I realized that it was his stream and not the broadcast, so I switched it. But right as I switched it, he was passing True Death.
Oh, you're absolutely right. He does. He had a little bit of damage to the hood, but yeah, True Death has some quite a bit of damage to that left side and on the left quarter panel. Also, Mac, I guess they trying to give that wall a kiss for good luck, but I can promise them they don't get much good luck from it. I can promise them that. And it's checking in with Dimebags. Ooh, Dimebags and a 34 of Racer Rick do a little battle. Dimebags lets off the throttle, gives a position back to Racer Rick, and that is the end of stage 1. We have already reached the end of stage 1. Surprise, surprise, Typical, your winner of stage 1, and has led every lap so far. Let's get on that 10 car. So Typical in first, Favre in second, True Death in third, Perky in fourth, Field Filler in 5th, Hickross now in 6th, Shovelhead in 7th, Pittman in 8th, Mack in 9th, and Racer Rick in 10th.
We have another showtime this week?
No showtime. They actually took the showtime
well, we have
off.
another showtime.
Yeah.
We have a showtime hole now.
Yes. You're right. You're right. Showtime Hall.
They took the showtimes off the other ones?
Yeah.
Well, Favre is still showtime. So
yeah, it does showtime for Favre. So Flash is out of town for work this weekend. So that's why.
You meant they changed their name.
Yeah, it gets me all jumbled up, especially on a Sunday night. It's going to get me jumbled up. But yeah, Flash is not able to make the race tonight because he's out of town for work.
Oh, 22's in the air. I don't know if that was a leg or what, but.
Oh, and he's sideways
now. Oh no, he's
now.
definitely not a leg. Yeah, him, the 17, somebody else.
And now he got sideways
off each other.
And he got a course penalty. Wow. I wonder, and there's still green as of now.
He ended up on 2 wheels, and then a car got under those 2 wheels and sent him up in the air, and he landed back on all 4.
And then when he landed on all 4s, I got the camera right on him, and he had the car literally sideways and perpendicular with the track. Ended up going off the track and got one of those off-track penalties, which are infamous here at the Indy Roval.
Somebody's got to tell these guys they're going the wrong way on the straightaway.
I can't stand it, honestly.
This is just stupid track. I'm sorry.
It is.
They should just race. Indy is such a great track, and the oval is such a great track, and it's just gone. Like
I couldn't agree with you more. I absolutely couldn't agree with you more. Especially, the history of the track, especially with these new next-gen cars. These next-gen cars, I think, would have some dynamite racing on the regular oval at Indianapolis. And they,
Probably.
I don't know why they got to screw it up by having them do the road course, but
Money.
yeah, I
Trying to be like F1.
trying to be. But look at this here in stage 2, and this is kind of interesting, Nizzy, how they have this start. Because first place, when you're first place, you automatically start in the left row, and what would normally be the inside row on the left. Well, here it's the opposite. You start first, but you're still on that left row, even though turn 1 is this sharp right-hand turn that Favre is going through now, and Favre was able to take advantage of that and get in front of Typical here in the beginning of stage 2, which it's kind of it's something I guess you might have to play some strategy in the game that normally you kind of always want to be an odd number so you can start on the inside, where now on this crappy track you want to almost try to be an even number so you can start on the inside on the right. Yeah.
In the older games, weren't you able to, if you were on the front row, weren't you able to choose? In one of the older games, I'm pretty sure, when they first started, when they made, like in real NASCAR, when it was only the front row, the leader chose.
Right.
If you were in first, there was a game where they had that. I mean, and then they just got rid of it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I couldn't tell you which one it is because I didn't play. I didn't get a PlayStation. I was 12 years without playing a PlayStation until I got this and NASCAR Heat back in 2021.
I don't remember if it was Heat or NASCAR 15.
Yeah, one of them, I'm sure. But Typical is starting to reel in the 4-car of Favre, which, and I don't know if you were able to catch last week's race, but Typical won at Michigan last week.
I caught the very end.
He's been on fire, man. He has been absolutely on fire. And I was going over the points for a few minutes right there before the race got going, and I'm not sure. I got to check the schedule and see how many races are left in the regular season, but I'm pretty sure that Typical almost mathematically has the regular season championship pretty much locked up.
That makes sense.
But this is Flash missing tonight is going to kind of hurt him on the playoff points because Favre and Flash both got a black flag last week on the last pit stop. So I think they finished something like 7th and 9th respectively. So they lost a lot. They lost even more points. And more importantly, most importantly is playoff points to Typical. So Favre tonight, he has got to win this race to and hope and pray and maybe with the racing gods that Typical has maybe the same issue kind of thing and can try to gain a few playoff points on Typical, because Typical is, man, he is just winning everything. Kind of counting his praises, man, almost, because it's just really impressive, the season that Typical has, man. It's really, really impressive. And now here they come now down pit road. So green flag pit stops. now going to happen again. So I wonder if this is going to be another gas and go, or right side tires only, or if this is going to be a full 4 tire stop. We're going to find out here in a minute, as pretty much the entire field, again, here we go, the entire field is all coming down pit road. And I'm kind of surprised, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure. I'll get a lap count, as there's going to be 5 to go when they, or actually they'll have 4 laps. They got 4 laps to go now as they cross the line. So they're going to have 4 laps left in stage 2. So a lot of these guys, again, just taking fuel. So another gas and go. Maybe some guys take some right sides, but I think for the most part it's going to be a gas and go like it was last stage, as typical beat out Favre out of the pits. So, and has a little bit, has that separation. I don't know if you see that separation, but
yeah, I'm riding with Favre right now.
As I am as well. As Favre entered the pits in first, and Typical came out in first with a.
He's closing on him.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Favre took a couple of tires. I wonder if he took right sides.
Maybe.
I'm thinking he had to have taken right sides to be that far behind Typical when he was in first and Typical was in second. I tell you what these guys don't want to do is go off course, because this track is famous for that penalty, that I don't know, it's a 5 or 10 second penalty when you go off course and you get that off track penalty. This track is famous for it. I mean, I've raced here once or twice, and I kid you not, Nizzy, man, I would have almost all 4 tires. I would have 2 tires easy, and I would have like 2 other tires on that blue and white chicane, and I would still get that dumb track penalty. So
something happened with Typical. He stopped on the track.
That's it. That's the penalty.
Oh,
that's the penalty. I was just talking about it. It makes you stop, and because that one little spot there, as we'll go back to it. That one little spot coming there, you have to hit the chicane with 2 tires or stay on the left side of it. You can hit it with 2 tires, but you have to hit it with 2 tires or stay all the way to the left of it, because if you go to the right of it, you get that penalty, and that is just what happened with Typical. And unless Favre makes a mistake similar to it, that should take Favre. That should give Favre stage 2. As I check in now with True Death, and True Death now in third. There is the interval between Typical and True Death, who is in third place.
No. Don't mind me.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Sorry
saw
about that.
I thought you saw something happen.
No. Sorry about that.
Checking in with Hickross now. Hickross had probably, I think, his best start of the race. Hickross started third, and he's still holding his own in was that 1, 2, 3, 4? And Hickross is in 5th place. But let me get back to the 4 car of Favre.
I've been riding on Favre's hood, and I only raced this track, I think, 3 laps in a round. Some people, and then gave up on it because it was just stupid.
Yeah,
and I haven't ran much in the next gen cars, and I can't tell when he gets these heavy braking zones. I think the sounds I'm hearing are his downshifts. But it almost sounds like, I can't tell if maybe he's like playing with the throttle and the brake to help the car turn, but I'm trying. I've been for like 3 laps. I've been trying to decipher what I'm hearing. It's got to be the downshifts, I guess, because
Well, try
I'm
to
not
remember
hearing
that.
anything.
Try to remember that he makes the podium.
I'll try.
I'll try to remember
Because
that
at first
too.
I'm like, wow, that's interesting. How he's like, how he's kind of like, what's the word? It's kind of like going up and down the throttle as he turns. But then I realized, is that just how the downshift sound?
Right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's just the downshift.
But as I'm riding with field filler now, there's the little part right there. That little chicane right there that he just he passed is the one that's going to call that got typical the penalty where you have to hit it right. You have to hit it with 2 tires or be completely on the one side of it, or you will get that penalty like typical got. And that's the first time it happened tonight, and probably won't be the last. If I had to put money on it, and I got bad. Oh man, the 22 of Shovelhead has taken it to the garage, man. Big heavy hitter on these road courses in the garage. Shovelhead has had to take it to the garage, man.
I think that's the end of the stage.
That is the end of the stage. As I was trying to get back on the 4 car, just noticing Shovelhead was in the garage, but Favre fights back and takes first for stage 2, Typical in second, True Death in third, Hick Ross grabs 4th, Perky in 5th, Field Filler in 6th, Dimebags in 7th, Mac in 8th, Danny MD in 9th, and Racer Rick in 10th. But one of the heavy hitters, one of those road course ringers, so to speak, and Shovelhead, now out of the race. And Shovelhead, man, I mean, you know how good he is on these road courses, man. You know how good he is and how strong he is. That he could have been. I was saying he was. If there's a couple guys that can give Typical a challenge, he would be one of them. But now check this out. Here we go at the restart of stage 3. Typical's in first, but look how he is on the left. True Death is in second. Look how he is on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Now here comes True Death, giving it all he's got, and let's see if he takes first through turn 1. As Favre right on the bumper, giving him a little bit, and he is going to take first. And True Death now to the lead for the first time tonight. Here at the beginning of stage 3, as they go over that little section where you got to hit that chicane. You got to hit that chicane with 2 tires or stay on the one side of it. Looks like everybody obeyed that little law. But put True Death to the lead in that 3 car.
Oh, whoa, who's that? 17 got a little squirrely, but holds on to it.
17 of Mac. I'm pulling for Mac. I'm really pulling for Mac to have a good race, because last week he had a fast car at Michigan last week, man. He was rolling through Michigan, had a really fast car, and until that Ford engine let loose. And he made his way up to the booth and joined me up in the booth. And he even said that he had the best car he's had all season. So I'm really pulling for Mac to kind of have a bounce back race, as he's now in the middle of the wash, that I like to say.
Oh, typical problem for him again. Looks like he got another penalty. No, I think he just went off the track.
He may have.
He's all the way towards the middle of the pack now. Maybe he did get another penalty.
He might have, because he is way back. Way back. Let's see if I can get a position of where Typical is. I'm not saying he's not in. We got Mac fifth, Dimebags is sixth, Hickross seventh, Pittman in eighth, and Danny MD is ninth. So he might be. I don't think he's in the top 5.
No, he's definitely not in the top 5. He's back.
So he's outside of the top 9. Okay, just now moved up to 9th. So Typical is in 9th now, as he's as like last week at the end of stage 2. At the last lap of stage 2, he was drafting with KB Showtime. KB Showtime got a little tight off of turn 2 and bounced off the wall just a little bit to where he came down and took the nose off of Typical and spun him around. And I asked him, because stage 3, it looked like he was pissed off because he had to start in the rear of the field in stage 3 with that spin. And I asked because it looked like he was driving pissed off. And I asked him that, and he said, yeah, that pissed him off. So I guarantee you he's just as pissed off now. But back up here into the front, Perky in the 14. You there, Nizzy? I lost you again, Nizzy. Oh, man. And Nizzy having some technical difficulties as Perky in the 14 now makes the pass on True Death, and Perky making his charge to the front as we got 3 wide back here with, look at this back here, we got 3 wide. Come on. I'm screwed. That did not work out so well with Pittman.
You got it sorted out there.
Now we got you back. It got crazy. Yeah, it got crazy there for a second.
I was watching.
As Typical, Pittman, and Hickross were 3 wide going through that turn.
Oh, Pittman, I think, got the penalty.
Yep, he got the. I thought
he
it was
just stopped right on the track.
Yeah, and I just lost you again. Oh man, but yeah, you're right. Pittman got that penalty. I thought he was wrecking because he got tagged by the 18 of Hickross, but that was just because Pittman was being stopped.
I don't know if maybe he got the penalty.
Oh man, he keep going.
Like the guy was.
I got you.
You got me now?
I got you now.
All right. This mic is a problem. I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like, I don't know if maybe he got the penalty, but the guy behind him was just so close behind him that before his car could be ghosted, he got into the back of him.
Yeah.
Like they're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you what, he's having a heck of a race right now, and this is 14 car of Perky. Perky has worked his way all the way up to second as he is trying to reel in the 4 car of Favre, but Perky is having a heck of a race getting around this place. You could tell he likes this track because he is getting around it really, really quick, really, really fast, dropping True Death back to 3rd and putting space in between him and True Death and trying to close the space between he and Favre. But Perky in that 14 on the move, making his way all the way up to 2nd. As got some guys now making a pit stop, coming down pit road.
45 is an amazing looking car. That Jordan car.
Yeah, that's a slick looking, isn't it? I kind of like this 17 paint scheme. This that Mac has in that 17. It's got that the navy blue and the black and the silver. I like that. I think that just looks sleek. Looks real sleek.
The only Roush car that I didn't find extremely boring paint scheme wise was Mark Martin, the Valvoline.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Every other Roush car just doesn't do nothing for me.
Yep. Well, we are all the way. We got only 4 laps to go. Can't be just already 4 laps to go, is there?
Well, it's a 150, right? So
It is a 150.
could be.
We are going about 4 or 5 laps to go. This could be the shortest race of all time. I think. Here comes Perky. Perky now coming out of his pit stop, and he is going to beat Favre out of pit road and put the 14 of Perky to the point. Favre in second. Favre on his heels, practically in his back seat, and now is looking to the inside and then going to make the pass and take the lead back. But the 14 of Perky is right on his tail. And it looks like we should have 3 laps. I think we're going to have 3 laps to go this next time by, as the 14 of Perky all over the 4.
I just got here.
Yeah, I know. It feels like we just started the broadcast. Favre now putting a little bit of space. Favre, you can see the acceleration Favre has on that 4 car, the gear ratio that he has. He's quick, but here comes a 14 now. Comes right back onto him as they come backwards on the straightaway. I don't know what to call it. Is it a straightaway or a back straight or back stretch? I don't know what the frick to call it. I guess front stretch, because they cross the flag stand, so I'm going to say the front stretch. But here they go, going into turn 1.
Typical is still being shown a leader, but I'm guessing he has to pit.
Typical is the lead. You're right. Typical is the lead. So Typical hadn't pitted.
I would assume not.
Typical must not have pitted.
Yeah, is he going to pit, or can he maybe stretch it here? Is he trying to stretch it?
He's definitely in fuel-saving mode. He is definitely in fuel-saving mode, I can tell you that. And let's see if he pits this time, if he has to pit. He said, heck no, he ain't pitting.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh no, he's not.
No, you take that second road to go to the pit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this track.
Yeah, it's weird how it happens. It's stupid. It's stupid. I can't stand this track. I cannot stand this track. I think it's stupid. It's Indianapolis.
Not anymore, apparently.
I almost call it a go-kart track.
Pennzoil-Napolis.
You can pretty much call it that. I don't know if we race here in FTR or not, but I hope we don't. I hope not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'll have to check the schedule. But we got 2 laps to go, so next time by, we're going to have only 1 lap to go. There's the interval now. So Favre and Perky are really catching Typical, because Typical is definitely in fuel-saving mode. Let's see if Favre, they're going to catch him on the last lap, I think. There's the interval as they keep coming around. And Favre
He's able to turn it back on last lap.
Oh, yeah, they're catching him quick. They're going to catch him They're going to catch him here on the last lap as they come around the final turn onto the front stretch. They're going to pass him here on the front stretch right here. Yep. Favre passes Typical on the front stretch. Perky trying to follow suit, and he does. He passes Typical for second, and Perky has actually pulled off, has actually lost ground to Favre, but we have got the white flag out. 1 lap to go. in what's got to be the shortest race in FRR Cup Series history.
Gotta make our picks. I'm picking Favre.
Well, I went with typical.
Did you?
Yeah, I was going with typical, but I was also going. I was thinking that I was going to try to give Shovelhead some good luck and call him my dark horse, but apparently his he had a mechanical issue with that 22 car and had to take it to the garage. So yeah, I was going. And here comes Favre now around the final turn. And losing you again, beating as you're going in on that. As Favre crosses the line and takes the win at the Indy Roval. Perky in second. Let's see who comes in third, and that's going to be True Death. True Death is going to get third. As Field Filler is fourth. Hickross is going to come home in fifth. Dimebags in sixth. Mac in seventh. Racer Rick in eighth. Pittman in ninth. And Danny MD in 10th. So, typical. He must have run out of fuel completely because he didn't. He ran out of fuel completely. He is already in. He's already in his pit stall. So, typical had run out of fuel. But congratulations to Favre on getting the win, another win on the season, and the win here at the Indy Roval. And we'll get these top three in here with Favre, Perky, and True Death as soon as we kind of change screens here. As Favre taking a little bit of a victory lap, and typical, yeah, man, you did have the fastest car by far. Typical on the channel now, and typical did have the fastest car by far, and that's absolute heartbreak on typical, and the fuel issue. I picked you typical. I did pick typical was my pick. Man, what? See, there's that multiplayer error connection again. Lost connection. I don't know why in the world that happens. If anybody knows why that happens or how I can fix it, please let me know, for the love of God. Let me know how I can fix that. But let's get these guys on in here. Let me find good old Perky. All we need is that man Perky to get on in here. Let me get him on the invite. And get Perky in here in just a second. And soon as things load up here a little bit. There he is. There's Perky. So we got our top three finishers up in the booth. Let's start with third, and that is the owner of FRR, and that is True Death. True Death, congratulations. I think this is your first podium this season, isn't it?
No.
Well,
Sonoma had podium, and
that's right, there was.
This is my third one, I think.
Yeah, but it's been too long, man. It's been too long. And you had a heck of a car, man. You had a good car in that number 3 tonight.
Yeah, not as good as the 4 and the 14 though. Both of them were fast, and the 20, I meant the 10. It's about a fourth place car. If typical wouldn't have spun, hitting the apron and stuff like that, it'd have been fourth. But yeah, and back to what you were saying earlier. Yeah, Typical's got a super, super, super fast car. Don't get me wrong, but I can't say it was the fastest one on the track because Favre came all the way from the back of the field and passed him in the first stage. So that right there, you know, they pretty even on the cars. And Perky come up there too, though. But he did have one of the two fastest cars on the track though. There's by no means, you know, I ain't taking nothing away from Typical, but he had the car to beat also with Favre. But it would have been a very good finish. Let's put it that way.
It would have. I would have loved to have seen that 4 and that 10 do a drag race on that last last lap.
When Favre was behind me, you know, he told me, he said, "Run your line." You know, I'll get around, but you know, I'm gonna let them have it anyways. Cause just like if Typical came behind me, they already faster than me. I want to see a good finish, good race, and if Typical would have been behind me, I would have gave way to him. Now Perky, you know, he would have had work for his though.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely on that.
But no, I just want to thank all the drivers for tonight. It was a good race. Turn 1, everybody was patient, didn't go in there plowing in like a bulldozer or anything like that. They done well and awesome in turn 1. That's better well. So I just want to thank all the drivers for clean racing.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, True, you had your best start of the season, starting in second, which actually was kind of the pole because of the way it started. You know, where the odds were on the left and the evens were on the right, and saw you take the lead there. I believe was it stage 2? I think was it where you took the lead, or stage 3? I can't remember. But you grabbed that lead, man. What was going through your mind when you grabbed that lead?
How long was I gonna hold it? Because I seen Typical when he spun. I think it was turn 1, and he spun right in front of Favre. If he would have took out Favre, I'd be like, oh my God, you know, blah blah blah. You know, I'd been all excited. But you know, Favre made it through there, so it was just a matter of time. I knew they were a lot faster. I mean, I knew Perky was faster than me from just a little bit of practice he done before the race. So I knew, you know, instead of risking me having a top 5 or top 4 or whatever, I wasn't going to put in 2 cars in harm's way of having bad finishes. I'd give way and let them go and give me a top 5, top 3. So, but we got a top 3, so I'm happy with that. And it's a good point stay, top 3 in all 3 stages, I think it is. So this is a good point stay now. We got to Watkins Glen and do the same thing. So try to do it, repeat it.
Well, congratulations, True. It was a heck of a race, man. Heck of a finish in that Bass Pro Shops tracker car. Now we're gonna let's talk to the guy in the 14 who got off his Bass Pro Shops fishing boat and drove himself back through the field like he generally does, and that's the 14 of that guy, that man, Perky. Perky, man, congratulations. What a race you had tonight, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it feels like a win for sure because I hate road courses. If anybody knows me, I hate them. I got a Gran Turismo, the new one, recently, and just started racing on that all week, and I think that helped me a lot for today. So, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Watkins Glen next week. Hopefully I can follow it up.
I'm surprised you say that because, I mean, it certainly didn't show that you, I mean, at least didn't hate this road course because, I mean, you were picking them up and laying them down and just going right through the field like you generally do, you know, with your work schedule and everything else. You can't qualify, so you always have to start in the back and you always come through the field. And you're always there at the end, and you know you won the first race at Daytona, and you came so close to so many other wins, so close several other times. How does it feel to be able to finish the race off, at least getting in second, and being able to finish it off?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, like I said, this is like a win to me, considering that road courses are usually my weakness. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully I can continue it on the rest of the year and keep pushing forward and maybe get another dub here soon.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm pulling for you in that 14, dude. I really am, man. Congratulations on getting second, man. Enjoy it and celebrate this one a little bit. And I'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Will do. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, very welcome. And let's bring on the winner of tonight's race and the defending champion of FRR Cup Series and that is that guy Favre. Showtime Favre again pulls it out in the number 4 car. I mean, you definitely had one heck of a rocket, man. One heck of a rocket.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Always, man. And B Nosy notices as we were, following on you. We had the camera on you here and there. The way that you're getting around the track with the gears and the brake, man. Nizzy, help me out here. Well, how exactly did you put it? Okay, we lost Nizzy. And Nizzy has been having technical problems. He probably took the headset and ended up throwing it through the window and sitting on the street in New York somewhere. he was going in and out, in and out. Yeah, Nizzy can't hear you, but it was really weird how you were working the throttle and the brake and the throttle as well. Is that something that you do on every track or just this track in particular? And how exactly were you doing that? Were you downshifting and braking at the same time?
So I, in the old cars, the Gen 6 cars, I drove a certain way, and I actually don't find it to be faster in these cars. So this is actually the first road course since we've went to the next gens that I have put work into, and so I had to figure out yesterday and today, because I didn't have any time this week to practice, which is why I had to start in the back tonight. I had to figure out the best way to get around, and I was just trialing a couple of things, and like if I really was trying to catch somebody or make up time, I would drive it really deep into the corner and downshift from 4th to 1st and hold on for dear life and hope she stuck. And 99.9% of the time it did. And it gained me quite a bit of time when I did it. So there you go, True. There's a new secret. But yeah, overall, I feel like I ran a really good race. The second stage, once I got up to typical, I was able to get out ahead of him and never really gained back up on me, maybe a 10th here and there, but I knew he was going to be the car to beat. I hadn't ran with him all week, but my thought process going into this race was I might not be able to pass him on pure speed, but if I get close enough to him, maybe I'll get him to make a mistake. And that's exactly what happened twice. So it's unfortunate that he ended up getting penalties in the second and third stage, because I really, like True said, I really wanted to see the ending to that, because I feel like I could keep up with them, but I just don't know. I know I wouldn't have been able to pull away from him. I used stage 2 as kind of to see what I could do, to see how far I could catch up, because in stage 2 and 3 and 1 actually, we had to take 4 laps of fuel with 4 laps left to go, and with my gearing, if I went all out, I was like a quarter lap short. So even when everybody else took 4 laps and had to save that quarter lap, I took 5 and went all out to see how much I could catch typical. And before he ended up getting a penalty, I gained on him a couple of tenths. So I kind of used that as my gauge for stage 3. And then right when he got the penalty in stage 3, I was right behind him. I got a second worth of damage, and went into pits about 2.5 seconds ahead of Perky, and I figured instead of trying to be conservative with my fuel, I just thought I'd go all out, even if I came back out in second place or third place at the time, because typical tried saving 3 laps. I could probably pass Chris, but overall, great race. Very clean race, as True said. I cannot give a big enough shout out to Perky for what he does every single week. People always used to give him shit for not practicing, and still do. And he comes through this field very clean every single week, and shows the kind of driver he is. So watch out for that 14 in the playoffs, because I will make him do practice races once the playoffs start.
I'll do them.
I try to mention that every week. I try to mention that every week because he's unable to qualify because of his schedule and stuff. And I mention that I try to mention it every single week. Sometimes there's so much going on, maybe I forget to do it. But you mentioned something there about one of the pit stops. I wanted to ask you about that. I'm trying to remember what pit stop it was, but you came in first and Typical came in second. And then Typical came out in first with a little bit of a lead on you. Was that something where you took 2 tires and fuel, or did you just take fuel, or what happened there where he was able to get out in front, but not just out in front, but actually have a little bit of a space between you guys?
So yeah, that's what I was trying to gauge to see how much I could catch up. If I didn't win stage 2, I knew in stage 3 that I wouldn't be able to do that strategy, but I was just testing it out to see if I could catch back up to him, since I knew he had to save just a little bit. So I went into pits and I took 2 full cans and no tires. Everybody else on track took a can and a half, no tires. So that's like a 3-second difference. So there's your difference right there.
Okay, I was wondering. I wanted to ask that if when you got up into the podium and on how that occurred. Flash is congratulating you on the stream, by the way, on the in the comments. Congratulations on
Showtime!
But hey, man, and real quick, one last question, man. Last week, Typical took the win at Michigan. You were bitten by the bad luck bug there at the end, getting a penalty on that last green flag stop, to where it put you towards the back, to where I think you finished 7th or 9th, I think, somewhere back there, to where you lost a lot of points. What is it? How when you passed Typical and you knew the fuel situation, how does it feel as far as where your mindset is to this week, where you pull out the win and Typical was bit by the unlucky bug?
I mean, right now, until the playoffs start, so true, I was going to ask you about this side note quick, but are we doing the same playoff routine as we did last year? So are we going to do like 12 people get in and one gets eliminated each week, or how is this going to work?
Well, one person gets eliminated each week.
Okay.
I think there may be 2 in maybe the 2 the first stage of the playoffs. I think it goes down to 1, I think.
So we're not doing rounds at all. It's just one race each, one by one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So, Shady, so pretty much I'm taking up until, well, it's 2 weeks from now is when Daytona is here. But like I told you earlier on in the season, about halfway through, I pretty much chalked this up to Typical being the first person to beat me for a regular season championship since I've joined FRR 3 seasons ago. So, but I'm not like, I'm not, disappointed over it, because I've missed 6 races. So if I would have been here for, 5 more races and missed the same amount as Typical, him and I would be neck and neck right now. So I'm not too worried. I really, to be completely honest, haven't put a lot of time in this season like I have the last couple of seasons. But trust me when I say once playoffs hit, it's game on.
Oh, I bet. And I mean, yeah, I mean, the regular season, it's pretty much mathematically almost locked up. But coming into tonight, as far as the playoff points, Typical had a 5-point lead on you in playoff points. He has 35, and he came into the night with 35, and you came into the night with 30. Is
So there's
that
a 2-point gap now.
yeah, so is that's where it's, really gonna start to the battle is really gonna start to commence is in those playoff points.
Yep. I mean, after next week, the playoff points don't really mean much. The stage points don't mean much because those playoff points transfer over each week to the following week in the playoffs. So say I have, what am I going to have, 34 after this week. So say I have 35 or 36 after next week. I'll start the playoffs with 36 points extra from where people that haven't gotten any stage points or wins, but that can all be eliminated in one race. If you have a really bad race or if you miss a race, like all those points are gone. So I'm definitely happy that I have them, but pretty much from here on out, it's pretty much just getting as many points as you possibly can. If it's a stage win or a race win, great. But just trying to get as many points in every stage possible will get you to that Final Four.
And absolutely, Typical did say did say in the chat that he is saying wanted to wish you a good win, and that you did what you had to do to win the race, and giving you congratulations on the chat. So
wish you and I could have battled it out there, because I don't think since I haven't been on all week, I don't think you were expecting me to have the car that I had. So I was really hoping I was going to get to race against you, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
Especially in kind of a sprint race, and it's got to be the shortest race in FRR Cup Series history tonight. So,
yeah, and I want to iterate on that a little bit. Usually, it's an Xfinity when they put this track on here. It was built for Xfinity. Cup didn't run it when it first got on here, and then they eventually brought Cup to it. So it's a Xfinity, and usually what we do is we'll put it times 200%. I didn't get to notice. I didn't think about it until late in the week. Didn't put the notice out like weeks ahead, so I just left it alone, left it like it is. But so it really is a league mistake, my mistake, pretty much. But
that's what happens with Road America too. The exact same thing. That's why we run 100% Road America.
Yeah, and Flash 9 said, yeah, Favre talks a lot, so wrap it up. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, well, shut up.
I just had to let you know that.
I just got to say one more thing.
Here we go.
Showtime.
It's showtime.
Nah, he was just giving you a heck.
Go to bed, old man. It's past your bedtime.
Well, I'm telling you guys, don't count out that guy in the 5 car and field filler, man. He's been putting together some real consistent races, finishing 4th tonight. Hick Ross, I want to say congratulations to Hick Ross getting a top 5. He's been putting together some very, very good finishes here lately. Very, very good races. He comes at top 5. But congratulations to you three, as True Death grabs 3rd. Perky once again goes through the field untouched and finally seals the deal in another podium and grabs 2nd. And congratulations to the defending champion himself, that guy Favre, man. What a hell of a job you guys put on tonight. Great job, all you guys, man. Well done, well deserved.
Congrats, Favre and Perky, for the top 2 spots. And Hick Ross said thanks, Shady, for the shout out to him. And Hicks has, in the last month, has made big strides. The Pittman and him has been working together with how they work on their setups and their time, and it showed a lot. He's put a lot of time in, because he's, like you said, he's got top 5 this week. Last week at Michigan, he would have had a better finish. Made a slight mistake, and I was right behind him and countered on it, so that's how I know the mistake he made. But he's put it together the last month, some cars, and he's going to have to watch out for him.
He is. He's gotten better. He's one of those guys that's gotten better as the season has gone on, as well as Dimebags. He finished right behind Hick Ross in 6th. He's putting together some. So things are starting to heat up. Things are starting to boil up, as we got Watkins Glen next week, Daytona after that, and then the real showtime's going to start, as we're going to be getting into the playoffs. So we're getting into that time of year.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Diamondbacks too, because he's put back-to-back top sixes, back-to-back weeks this week, and me and him had a little small talk during at beginning of this week, and he's listened all this season. At first, I thought he was gonna be a issue coming into the season, but he's listening and he's doing a lot better. So I just want to give him a shout out. Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
And that's what it's all about, man. It's about getting better all season long, man. And a lot of these guys have, man. And it's going to come down. The show's really going to start, and things are really going to start tightening up in the next couple of weeks when we get to playoffs. But congratulations to all you guys and everybody out there. Want to thank all you guys tuning in, watching the broadcast. We are nothing without all you guys tuning in and watching and liking it and subscribing to the channel. Thank everybody for you guys tuning in. Like I said, we're nothing without you guys watching. They're just a bunch of guys end up racing without nobody watching. So thank you guys all for watching. And that's going to do it for us here at the Indianapolis Roval. Favre grabs another win. The defending champion Favre, champ himself. Favre grabs another win as Perky, that man Perky, grabs second. True Death in third. We're going to see everybody next week at Watkins Glen. Everybody have a wonderful night.